the song. One name Lin Sing, he kept on singing. Mr. Ping Chang was the main quattro man. Ah Chong and Lee, they were back up for he. Bong sing, pung pang, wong sing, wong wong, pung sang chong. That's how they song, jingling wang.
All right, everybody, so welcome back. So Republic Bank Exodus Steel Orchestra is announcing its Carnival 2025 mass presentation. So to tell us more, we do have in studio this morning Mrs. Walda George-Waithe, band leader, Exodus Mass 2025. And we also have Mr. Atto Lewis, section designer, Exodus Mass 2025. Thank you very much for coming this morning.
Greetings.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Greetings.
Well, Mrs. Waithe, let's get right into it. Tell us about the theme of the band this time around.
Okay, so this time we are focusing on the Free French Sailor. It is one of the types of traditional sailor mass that we would play in Trinidad and Tobago. And, you know, we want to make sure that we keep the traditional mass alive. And we also want to make sure we have some fun and stuff. So we have modernized it somewhat, just a touch. But we want to keep a bit of the authenticity. And Exodus, that is, we want to make sure that we keep steel band in Carnival, right? So we want to make sure, of course, that we have the band playing and all that, although we have powered the band. So, you know, the music will be heard, and if the band rests and stuff, you can still have music. But we want to make sure that the music stays on the street, the pan music, and accompanied by the traditional mass. So,
yeah. So is the band going to be in Port of Spain, right?
We play mass in Port of Spain every year, yes.
Yeah, all right. Mr. Lewis, he's a section designer, all right? So let's talk about some of the designs this time around.
So for this year, I chose to go with a modern twisted French sailor costume. Normally it's a long pants and usually a white top. So I chose to go with something short this year to modernize the costume, but still hold true to the roots of the portrayal. So I use light material, and I also use something that more sustainable, so you can use after the fact of a mass. So after mass is done, you still use my costume there after, if you so choose.
Right.
That's my inspiration for the costume.
How many sections?
5 in total.
5 sections.
Correct.
Could you tell of yours the names of the sections, if you remember?
Yeah, I can do. So mine is First Class Seaman.
Right.
Mrs. Wade's section is called
Moorings.
Moorings, yes.
Moorings.
It's an all-female section, as for women alone to play in. There's also Mr. Foderingham. His section is called Yeoman. Yeah. It's French. My French is not the best, but it's Yeoman. And there's also one more. That is Miss
Christy Marie.
Christy Marie, yes, section, yeah.
Madre. Yeah.
Madre.
Right. All right, so 5 sections. All right, so when we're speaking about this band, it's a sailor band.
Yes.
So we're speaking about powder, right?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
I myself personally am very allergic to powder.
Okay.
But
don't bring your powder and stand up next close to Mrs. Waithe. Go ahead.
yeah, but I mean, we don't say, well, no powder.
Right.
But, you know, it'd be not, because of, in modern times, you know, we have a lot of people with a lot of different issues and stuff.
Allergies and so on.
Yeah. But we will have Sailor 6. We will have flags.
Yeah.
We will have sailor hats in some of these sections. Most of we even having some sessions on sailor movement.
Correct.
Okay.
For people who would be interested in the movement.
The actual dance itself. Yes.
We
There's
would
a dance that
have
goes with
in
it.
Arima at our mass camp. We would have at the Panyard as well. So, yeah, you know, if you're interested in actually learning more in depth about what you're actually going to be portraying, come January and February, we'll be doing a couple sessions on the actual sailor presentation.
Yeah. Let's get a little deeper into that, because you, as the band leader, could have decided on a number of choices when it comes to traditional mass. Yes. Why sailor mass?
Well, the sailor is actually the easiest to portray, because let us say you took Mokojambi, you have to have certain skills. Every other one of the traditional sailor traditional characters.
Yeah.
You have to have certain skills, even if it is just the ability to speak, as in the baby doll. You need to be able to portray that by giving a speech. But the sailor, you know, first of all, you can modernize it more. You can decorate the costumes more. So you're still able to get that finish that we love on Carnival Day of looking very pretty. And you can still be in your costume representing that traditional Trinidad character of Carnival.
Yeah. So, Mr. Lewis, so if I want to play with you all, but I want a more elaborate costume, I want to be an individual.
Say no more, say no more. You could get a backpack if you wish. That is a piece you put on and bigger bands. And also you could get a stick as well. You could also add to that everywhere something more special if you so choose. But that'll be an individual piece to suit what you would like to have.
Yeah. You had to go all out, you know. You had to have the stick, and you have to have the fire, and you have to do the dance. I know the thing, you know. But I want to speak about the younger generation. Because I suspect that the majority of your masqueraders are adults.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
You find that the younger ones are gravitating towards the sailor mask?
Well, let me say that Christy Marie Madre is in her 20s.
Yes.
Or just about 30. And she has designed one of the more popular sections that we have. And her section, I assume, will be more under 30s.
Yeah.
It is, you know, modern, back outside. You have your sailor collar, but it's a halter top, right? And she has a short pants section in it, so that, you know, it is going to encourage younger persons who don't necessarily want to do the popular, all, as I like to say, the more jammet type. Yes, it is. If you go to the traditional, the jammet is one of the characters.
Yes.
But, you know, much of our mass now tends to go towards that way. We want to have that quick fix that we could import something from China, etc., as against what we have, where we make our stuff here. We don't have, we don't do enough of any particular one of the costumes to import that from anywhere. We make our costumes. And we want to hold to that tradition somewhat.
By hand as well.
Yes. So, you know, we want to stick to it, but we do have young persons. We have people in the band who are young. They want to be all dressed up and stuff, but they don't want to necessarily do what many of the more modern bands are doing. And we must as well hold to our tradition somewhat. Because, you know, Trinidad Carnival is exportable. It has been exported to more than 150 cities all over the world. But there is only one thing that would make us know that it's Trinidad Carnival, is when we see those traditional costumes
on display.
Yeah, you're right. That's the fingerprint.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think it is safe to say, you all, that your band is a family band, you know.
Yes, it is, definitely.
Yeah, from the youngest person
yes.
to the
as Exodus is. My daughter plays there, so that's how I became involved in the band in the first place, right? Her great uncle was Desmond Waite. So, you know, and in the band, there are many generations. This is in the music part of the band. Many generations, families and stuff. So we want to make the mass part of the band extended in that same way, where we would have families. So if you want to bring your children to play, you can feel comfortable. Nothing is going to be happening there that you don't want your child to
exposed to. Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's talk about registration.
You want to go?
Registration is open as of the 8th of November.
Yes.
You can visit our Instagram page. Right, where the link is there, you can register. Everything is online and seamless payment as well. So you need to come to the store, the mask, to pay. We could also tailor your costume to suit your needs. If you have a specific design or specific fit you want, you get it as well.
And of course, once practice starts, we at the Panyard, once practice is on,
Yes, for
Yeah,
those who want to
you-
learn more about the dance itself.
Yeah, and you can register at the yard every night while practice is
As
in
well.
session. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you'd like to tell us before you leave us this morning that we may not have touched on?
The only thing I would like to say is, you know, that along with all the other things that we try to touch, we also want to deal with being able to use the costume after.
Yeah.
You know, we cannot continue with this throwing away everything.
Yeah.
So in each of the sections, we made sure that there's at least one part of the costume that is reusable.
Yes.
To ensure that the environment is also taken care of.
Is your band an all-inclusive band?
Yes, somewhat.
Somewhat.
We would not have hard alcohol,
Right.
but we would have like beers and stuff for drinks,
And
as well
refreshments.
as soft drinks, and we would have a meal as well.
Yeah.
And
All right.
we out there Monday and Tuesday, both days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what time do masqueraders report?
On Monday, we tend to leave around midday from right down by the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
And on Tuesday, we leave early, 8 o'clock, or if you don't get there by 8, you'll probably miss the band.
Yeah.
You'll have to meet us on the road.
Ato, anything else you'd like to tell us?
Just said, come and come play with us, enjoy steel pan, enjoy some music as well, have a traditional experience, and be part of the mass as it should be in the original format. We thank you for your time today, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me tell you, it's very, very important to protect the traditions.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all I will say on that. Thank you very much for coming this morning.
And thank
Thank
you
you.
for having us.
We are going to a very short break, everybody. We're coming back.